Again, remember, you have the answers available on the YouTube channel from yesterday's quiz, so you can access the YouTube channel now, or you can take a picture here of this screen. And now we will talk about the topic of today's class. Quick review about yesterday. Yesterday we talked about factoring by grouping. We started having the polynomial with 4 terms. If you have something like that, a polynomial with 4 terms, one thing that sometimes is possible is to divide. You can split into 2 pairs, and you can factor out each pair, just like this. Check this out. I'll use the wall. Check this out. You can factor out from this first pair here, you can factor out x squared. From the second pair here, you can factor out 2. So you can find the greatest common factor from each pair. And then you're gonna end up with 2 terms. The next step here is to check the resulting binomial, because you're gonna have a binomial, right? A greatest common factor multiplied by a binomial. Greatest common factor multiplied by a binomial. Check if the binomial is the same, because if it is, you can factor out the binomial. And the result here is going to be x squared plus 2 multiplied by the common binomial, x plus 3. Right? This is a quick review from yesterday. Another slide to try to make it clear. Yesterday we have a few more examples. If you didn't understand the previous slides, check these examples here. You have 4-term binomial, polynomial with 4 terms. You're going to end up with a multiplication of 2 binomials. If you have a polynomial with 4 terms and you apply the factoring by grouping, you're going to end up with a multiplication of 2 binomials. If you have a polynomial with 4 terms, you will end up with what? Yes, a multiplication of 2 binomials. This is a quick review from yesterday, a few examples, and if you didn't understand, maybe check these examples here, maybe it will help you understand. Or let me know, do you have any questions about yesterday? It's kind of, I will be honest, it's a lot of calculations here. It's kind of not easy peasy. It's a little bit of a hard work. Yes, Mia, no problem. Yes, I'm not sure how it's going to be target time today, okay, Mia? Because I don't know. The students, the face-to-face students here, they still are on first period. I don't know. They are changing the schedule. I'm not sure if we're going to have target time today. But anyways, I can add. Yes, if we have target time, you can join. No problem. Okay. Any questions about factoring by grouping? This is a review from yesterday. If you have no questions, let's talk about the topic of today's class. Is factoring trinomials. And yesterday we factored by grouping polynomials with 4 terms. Today we will see a method to factor polynomials with 3 terms. And basically what we will do is to transform, is to change the polynomial from 3 terms into a polynomial with 4 terms. That's what you're going to do. And then apply the knowledge from yesterday, the grouping, the factoring by grouping. Okay? Check the examples here. Let me see. Let's go straight to the procedure, and then we apply the procedure on the example. I think it's better to understand. We will read quickly, and then we will read step by step when working on the example. Procedure. The AC methods. If you have a trinomial in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and a different from 0. Step number 1, after factoring out the greatest common factor, multiply the coefficients of the first, letter A, and the last terms, letter C, A times C. Step number 2, find two integers whose product is AC and whose sum is B. If no pair of integers can be found, then the trinomial cannot be factored. Step 3, rewrite the middle term, bx, as the sum of the two terms whose coefficients are the integers found on step 2. And then step 4, you do what we worked yesterday, the factoring by grouping. Let's work on an example. It's much better to understand when we apply this step by step on an example here. So let's see this example. We have 12x squared minus 5x minus 2, right? And to be able to work the AC method, you need to have the polynomial in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, right? That means 12 is going to be a, negative 5 is b, and negative 2 is c. Clear? A, B, and C. Let me write down here. A, B, and C. Now I'll work the first step. We cannot factor out anything. I think the first step after factoring out the greatest common factor, we don't have any greatest common factor that is common to the three terms, so we will move to the next step. Find two integers whose product is AC and whose sum is B. That's what you're going to do. A times C is 12 times negative 2, negative 24. And B is negative 5. We need to find two numbers whose product is negative 24. And if you add these two numbers, you're going to find 5. To think about the solution, write down here at the very bottom the factors of 24. Just the factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12.
Teachers, please excuse this interruption. We're going to go ahead and keep all our students.
Okay, then we find the factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. Those are the factors of 24, right? How to find 24 with two factors. What kind of couple of numbers that we can combine? You can add or you can subtract and find 5. What do you think? Not 1 and 24. We can find 25 or 23. Not 2 and 12, because if we add or subtract, we're going to have 14 or 10. Maybe 3 and 8, right? If we add 3 plus 8 is 11, but if we subtract 8 minus 3, we have 5. So I think this is the answer, 8 minus 3. And then we can multiply 8 times negative 3. Those are the two numbers. Those are the two numbers that we can find that multiplied is 8 equals to A times C, and the sum is equals to B. Now we're going to rewrite the polynomial using these two numbers. Check it out. 12x squared. Instead of negative 5 here, we will add let me see, plus 8x minus, sorry, it's negative 5 here. So it's going to be the other way around, okay? Negative 5. So it's the other way around. Let me fix here. It's 3 minus 8 to be negative 5. And here is negative 8 times 3. Sorry about that. So negative 8 times 3. So fixing here, this is negative 8 minus 8x plus 3x minus 2. See? And this is going to be equal to 5, negative 5x, right? This is equal to negative 5x. So we have the same equation, the same polynomial as the original one. But now we can combine 2 by 2. And factor out. That's what we're going to do. The first pair we can factor out 4x times 3x minus 2 plus 1 times 3x minus 2. And the result here, we have the same binomial, right? We can factor out this binomial, and then we have, as a result, 4x plus 1 times 3x minus 2. This is going to be the right answer. Well, let me know if you understood, and if you are a little bit confused, that's not a problem, because we're going to practice. And this is a bit, this method is not straightforward. I agree with you, because you have to guess numbers, you have to rewrite, you have to, yeah, it's not straightforward. It's not something so simple. I will agree with you. But we need to practice. Things like that, after you practice a little bit, it starts to become natural or easier, and you can see better. Okay? So just don't be worried about, we can practice, we can find a way of understanding it slowly by working on easier examples, and then slowly increasing the level of difficulty. Questions? Any questions? Any feedback? Please give me a feedback. I know you can complain. You can say, no, this is too hard. I will agree. If you type here in the chat box.
Teachers, at this time, would you...
The meanwhile, if you don't have any questions or feedback or anything at all, I will check the email. I will give you a feedback about the situation if you're curious about. But in the meanwhile, think about the bell work. What's going to be the answer? Type your messages now, and while I check my email and I check your attendance, then you type the answer that you find is the right answer for this question here. Which tank will fill up first? It's not a math question. It's not exactly a math question, it's a logic question. And I give you 3 more seconds to answer. The last chance. 3, count down. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's find out the right answer. And check this. It's going to be tank 3 or tank 4, I think. By your answers, it's tank 3 or tank 4. You know, by some basic hydraulic, that the water is going to flow. When the water reaches this level here, it's going to flow to the next tank, tank number 2. And then when the water reaches this level here, it is flowing to the next tank, tank number 3. And we will start to go up and up and up. At this point here, tank number 3, we will stop to fill at this point, because the water then is going to fill out the tank number 4, see? So just right a little bit before filling tank 3, the water is going to start to fill tank number 4. And this we will stop to move up. Number 4 is going to move up, 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 up. But then at some point here, if you check the level of the tanks, tank 4 is a little bit higher than tank 3. That means tank 4 will stop at this point, and tank 3 will be filled up, and maybe we will start to overflow. And tank 1 will never be full. Tank 2 will never be completely full. And tank 4 also will never be completely full. We'll have this little bit, little margin, little volume that's not full. But tank 3 is the one that will overflow. The correct answer is tank number 3. Yes, most of you got the right answer. The first one with the right answer, let me see, is Emily. Congratulations, Emily. You got the right answer. But thank you all for participating. Thank you all. Thank you, Mia, Emily, Nicole, Brian, Victoria. Thank you, Ramon, Danisha, and Jailene, Andrew, Ricardo, Luis, and Alema, and Amber again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's move to the quiz now. All right, the quiz today, a bit tricky because we have to guess some numbers, and this is the part that you might find hard, and I totally understand. I totally agree with you. Let's try letter A, okay? And remember, the first thing you have to do, identify A and C. A here is 1, right? A is 1. C is 32. That means A times C equals 1 times 32, just 32. And B is negative 12. This is the first steps. Identify A times C and identify B. We need to find two numbers that multiplied is 32 and that adds to negative 12. So the factors of 32 are going to be 1 times 32, 2 times 16, and we don't have 3, maybe 4, 4 times 8, and that's it. Those are the factors that can be multiplied and make 32. The two factors that you can make 32. Think about the combination. What kind of combination can you do? Can you work with one of these pairs that will add to negative 12? And the one that we can add to negative 12 is going to be 4 and 8. Negative 4 minus 8, right? Negative 4 minus 8. Right? So, negative 4 minus 8 are the numbers that we're looking for, because negative 4 times negative 8 equals 32. And we have now to rewrite this polynomial here as b squared minus 4 minus 4b minus 8b plus 32. Factor out on the first pair, divide by pairs, or factor out on the first pair. b times b minus 4, and on the second pair, factor out 8 times b minus 4. And the answer here is going to be b minus 8 times b minus 4. Okay? Any questions? What do you think? It's too hard? Try to work now by yourselves. I'm going to check attendance, and I will be back in a couple of minutes, and we can work on more questions, more examples. Okay? Let's do it. Let's work on it. Let's work here on letter C. And we need to identify A is 1, and C is 24. That means A times C, and so a little bit more, A times C equals 1 times negative 24, negative 24. And B is 10, positive 10. We need to find a combination of numbers, two numbers, that the multiplication of the two numbers is equals to negative 24, and the addition of these two numbers is equals to 10. And let's try a few numbers here that multiplied they are equals to 24. 1 times 24 is 24, 2 times 12, 24, and 3 times 4, 24. So we have a few combinations here, right? Remember, the combination can be addition, can be with negative numbers, positive numbers. Try to think what kind of numbers here that added or subtracted can be equal to 10. And I can quite clearly see that we can subtract 12 from 2 and have 10. 12 minus 2 equals 10, right? And then we can have 12 times negative 2 equals 24. The numbers, they are going to be 12 and negative 2. Now we rewrite the polynomial, the original polynomial, splitting this 10 as 10y minus 2y. Let me rewrite here, y squared plus, instead of 10, let's write minus 2y plus 12y minus 24. Excuse me. Now we can apply the factoring by grouping from yesterday. We can group this pair, these two terms, and we can group these other two terms. And then we have y times y minus 2 plus 12 times y minus 2. Check it out. We have the same binomial, y minus 2. We can factor out y minus 2 as well. So it's y plus 12 times y minus 2. This is the answer. And look, I agree. These kind of questions here, they are not straightforward. They are not as easy as the ones we worked in previous quizzes, because you have to figure it out. You have to guess a few numbers here. And this part, I think, is a bit hard, right? To guess a couple of numbers and try to combine them and multiply to find negative. This is negative 24. And to add 10 is not as straightforward. I agree. But I can help you, and you're going to have all the answers if you need.